Good morning, wrestling fans. We've got a lot to talk about. Going to be covering WrestleMania Backlash this coming Sunday. We're going to get the predictions, the preview out there. I'm joined by a very special guest, none other than NXT Steve. How are you this morning, Steve?
Very good, thank you very much.
Excited to talk about this pay-per-view. It's going to be a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, the matches themselves look like they're going to be really good. It's just unfortunately the outcomes are kind of where the problem is.
Definitely. Let's see kind of what happens. I think it's going to be good. We still got a chance to get some more matches added on SmackDown tonight, which will be fun. We want to hear your opinions in the comments. So please let us know your predictions. If you've got any predictions for WrestleMania Backlash. Let's kind of get into it then. So first match I've got on my card, I've got The Miz facing Damian Priest. What's your initial thoughts of this feud so far?
To be fair, just wanting this to be over. Like I know they're trying to I don't know if they're trying to use this whole storyline to play off the whole Miz and John Morrison split, which hopefully this is where this will now lead to, and they obviously just removed Damian Priest from the equation. I read an interesting thing yesterday that apparently about Priest and Bunny's match at WrestleMania, and apparently it was said that if this match didn't go over well, that was it for Priest. His push would have been over, and he would have been just gone to K-Room with Ricochet and stuff like that. This is like their actual. I think it was an interview with Priest himself. So I'm glad it's worked out for him, but yeah, they just need to separate these two now and I don't know, put Priest towards a mid-card championship and start building him up the card.
100% agree with that. In terms of sort of a breakdown of this match, so obviously Damian Priest, he's been on a really good run since he got called up from NXT. He's obviously beat The Miz before quite a few times. The only time Damian Priest really has lost, he lost that handicap match when Miz was naked with Maurice, that whole thing that happened the night after WrestleMania. Looking at The Miz, obviously The Miz, he's regularly doing the job at the moment in this feud. So obviously, ever since he dropped the belt to Bobby Lashley, where he won the belt in Elimination Chamber, he's regularly doing the job. In terms of an outcome match, for me, Damian Priest has to win. Damian Priest, I think there'll be some dissension between Miz and Morrison, and I think that's going to start that single feud that's building at the moment. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I've gone with Priest as well. It's going to be interesting to see how the Lumberjacks play into it as well. Because when they announced it was a Lumberjack match, I was kind of like, wow, that's actually a weird stipulation to have on a pay-per-view. Normally that's like a Raw match stipulation, but it'll be fun to see. And like I said, yeah, I think depending on how it works, hopefully this now pushes Priest away from Miz. But yeah, I've gone with Priest as well.
I think it's a good shout, definitely. Have you got anything else you want to add on this match before we move forward?
No, go for it, mate.
So our next match is the SmackDown Tag Team titles. We've got the Dirty Dawgs, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, defending champions against the Mysterios. For me, this has been sort of thrown together. Quite looking forward to seeing it. I think it'd be great in ring. Looking at the Dirty Dawgs, they've obviously had the belt since back on January 8th, where they won it from the Street Profits. The Dirty Dawgs, obviously, have been pretty good as a team. They're not really defend the belt much, but let's look at it like this. For me, I think based on last week's SmackDown where Dominik Mysterio was able to beat Dolph Ziggler, I think we're going to get new tag team champions here. I think this is the time to do it. Probably should have done it at WrestleMania, but if the Mysterios lose here, where else do they go? That's the way I look at it. What's your prediction of thoughts of the feud in the match? Who's going to win?
Yeah, I mean, like I said to you before, there hasn't been a title change on a Backlash since 2017 when Jinder beat Randy. But I think this could be the only match where a title does change hand, and I've gone with the Mysterios as well. I mean, how many times have they defended? Once, I think, since they've won the titles.
They've not. To be fair, they've not really had that regular sort of defense. Obviously, they've been thrown in matches. They had the big match at kind of SmackDown WrestleMania, if that makes sense. That was kind of last time I think they defended it.
I think they're looking to put this on Rey Mysterio and Dominik, so that the Usos can then go on and possibly take it off of them, because it's the only I couldn't see the Usos going up against the Dirty Dawgs. So yeah, I think they need to put it on a babyface team now, just so the Usos can go back for them tag team titles.
I like it, mate. Let's see if that happens. But definitely, both our restrictions is the Mysterios. So moving forward, we've got some comments here, so we're going to go to them. Don Mills, morning, peeps. Good morning to you, mate.
Morning.
Thank you very much for being up so early, checking out the stream. Let us know your predictions in the comments. Got one here from SCW, Steve. WrestleMania moment for Mysterios. Knew there was a reason WWE put Backlash on the Backlash name this year. Yeah, I agree. Good morning to you, Steve. Thank you for checking out the video. I agree, probably. Let's kind of move forward then. So our next match on the card, we have got sort of this match, to be fair, looks to be quite a sort of stacked kind of match. We've got the SmackDown Women's title match, Bianca Belair and Bayley. Clearly, this is the first title defense for Bianca Belair. When we look at this, I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing this. I know that they had this feud back in December where they're tied at 1-1 at the moment. And looking at this, for me, I think it's great to see Bayley back on the camera wrestling, because we haven't seen Bayley wrestle for a while. So for me, I think it's going to be a good first match. In terms of prediction, I've got to go Bianca Belair. I don't see Bianca Belair dropping the belt here. I think despite Bayley's recent sort of great work, I think Bianca Belair's going to win the series here, and I think she's winning. What's your thoughts of the feud and who's winning here?
Yeah, I can see it. I can only see Bianca winning this, winning her first title defense. I can't see her losing. I expect the match to be amazing. Hopefully, it's kind of like Sasha and Bayley's Hell in a Cell match from last year. Like, the quality of that match was amazing. So putting Bayley in this equation and say swapping Sasha for Bianca, I expect this match to be just as good. And I reckon this could be probably one of the matches of the night.
Definitely. Interesting note, this is Bayley's first singles match since February 12th. So it's quite a long time, isn't it, to be out, not be in a singles capacity.
What was her last match?
She beat Liv Morgan, and that was kind of back on February 12th. The week before that, she beat Ruby Riott.
She's not... Oh, wow, that's amazing, man. 3 months she hasn't had a match. That's mad.
She's been in a she was in a 6-person tag sort of at the end of April, but in a singles match, she kind of obviously hasn't sort of been in, but it'd be great to see her back. What I'd love this to happen personally is, obviously Bianca wins, we then get Sasha come back. For me, Sasha, Bianca, we need to be getting that Money in the Bank, really. I think this is a great placeholder feud. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably like to see Bayley get another shot at it. I'd rather see Sasha work with someone to get someone else, another baby face up the card. So I'd say keep Bayley with Bianca for the next pay-per-view, probably going into SummerSlam, get it like a series of best of 3 or whatever. Put Sasha in a feud, get someone else, because they've only got 3 top stars in the female division on SmackDown. You need another baby face. So I think they should get a bit Sasha to work with someone. That's what I think. But then again, with WWE, anything can happen.
Definitely going to go to the comments. We've got to go on here from SCW. Wins and losses matter 100%. That's what I think. I think if they keep sort of Bianca strong, Bianca Sasha is the money match in the division, so that kind of makes sense. But for me, all day long, I think we're agreeing again. Bianca to retain here. Yeah,
in her first title defense, 100%. But then the interesting thing as well is you had Bayley yesterday. It was reported she called out the Bellas.
Okay.
So whether that plays into anything, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It would make sense. I know the Bellas were due to come back. That was kind of going around sort of at the start of March. I kind of reported that was kind of going to happen, but that seems to have been shelved. And I wonder whether Damian Priest leaving is maybe the reason why we've not seen the Bellas back. But I think they'll be back in WWE eventually. I can't believe they're not going to be based on what we saw at WrestleMania.
They're going to get them tag titles at some point.
Of course they are. Yeah, that's what, I agree with you, I think. Definitely. So we've got this Raw Women's title triple threat. So this is Asuka facing Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. So when we kind of look at this, breaking this down, so obviously Rhea Ripley, she's not had the belt on. Obviously she won it at WrestleMania where she beat Asuka. She's got another win over Asuka earlier this month. She's obviously been on a fairly good run. Looking at her opponents here, we've got Asuka. Asuka does have a win over Charlotte Flair back in April, which was quite a big win. She has already lost to Rhea Ripley. And obviously looking at Charlotte Flair, she's been really solid in the singles capacity, beating Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose. And for me, I'm really looking forward to seeing this match. I think it's one of the matches on the card where it's quite open who's going to win. In terms of prediction for me, I think Rhea Ripley's winning this. I think Rhea Ripley's going to retain. I don't see them dropping the belt off her already. What is quite an interesting note is the last kind of triple threat match that Rhea Ripley was in that involved Charlotte Flair. Rhea Ripley was actually able to beat Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks back in November. So she's pretty good in triple threats. The only time really that she's come unstuck is when they did that triple threat for the in NXT with Io Shirai. But for me, I think Rhea Ripley's winning. What's your thoughts of the feud and who's winning?
Just to change it up a bit, I'm actually going to go with Charlotte. I think Asuka's going to be the reason why Rhea loses this match. They kind of played to this whole Rhea and being in a triple threat kind of thing, and I think it's just their way of getting the title on Charlotte without making Rhea look weak. So I think Asuka's going to take the pin, and Charlotte's going to win it.
I like it. Controversial. We've got a different opinion. That's good to hear. I think definitely. I think if Charlotte wins, it's not a travesty because she's done some great work. Her recent rebirth has been really good. For me, are we in agreement that Asuka's the one that's taken the pin here?
Yeah. I think it's the only reason she's in the match is to take the pin.
Definitely.
It's a crying shame, but yeah, I think the only reason she's in this is to take the pin.
I think this will be a cracking triple threat. I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of what happens. I think I'm really excited by this. I like the element that anybody could be pinned. Clearly in triple threats before, the obvious one doesn't win. So Charlotte may be a good shout for me, but I'm glad we're in difference. I'm Rhea Ripley, you're Charlotte Flair. So let's see what happens on Sunday.
I'd like to say that just this is what I think the Mania match was missing was Charlotte Flair. So I'm expecting this to be better than the Mania match between Ripley and Asuka.
Do we think that this is going to give sort of Asuka some time off TV, which is much needed, so she can sort of have a break?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think this feud will just continue with Rhea and Charlotte going forward.
I'm going to put this out there. One last thing as well, Steve. Just want to get your opinion on this. Do we see Alexa Bliss and Lily getting involved at the end of this in some way, just to sort of start some sort of program with either Rhea or Charlotte, maybe?
Yes, it'd be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
I think from Raw, I have no idea what Alexa Bliss's plan is and stuff like that. Like the fact that she's got voodoo powers and she's using them on
Shayna
Baszler. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have no clue what they're planning with this woman.
Definitely. Going to go to the comments. Got a good one here. West Coast Popcast. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for checking that stream. That's a great channel. Everyone, please check that one out and give it a subscribe. Some excellent content. There's a guy called Zach on there and a few others, and Zach has to watch Raw every week. So I feel his pain is echoed, really. I'm sure you know that from recent weeks where we've reviewed Raw, Steve.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. So obviously moving forward, so we've obviously got this triple threat match, and this is obviously for the WWE Championship. We've got Bobby Lashley defending, and that's against Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman. When we kind of look at this, for me, I'm excited by this. I think it's a great sort of match. It's been quite well built up. What's your thoughts on the feud so far before you break it kind of down into detail?
The only irritating thing is we've just seen the same matches every week on Raw. Like Bobby's really entertaining. Drew, I think, is beginning to sort of fall flat with certain people. Like these interviews that he has every week for the last 3 weeks have just been flat. Nothing in like remotely interesting about them. The matches have been good. It's just a shame, that a pay-per-view match, and we've basically seen this match already because every week for the last, since Mania, it's just been these three entwined with each other and beating each other up. But I think it'll be a really good match.
I think it'd be good if we break it down then. So let's look at like this. Bobby Lashley, this guy is on a fantastic singles run. He's only ever lost one match this year, and that was against Matt Riddle. But I was kind of a fluky. Obviously, the triple threat, he didn't get pinned. Elimination Chamber. Yeah. Looking at sort of this, so Bobby Lashley, he's been kept strong, which is really, really good. He beat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, which was a shock to everybody. I was shocked. I'm sure you were shocked by that.
I predicted it. I predicted Bobby.
Oh, you did predict it. Yeah. So let's give you the credit where it's due then. That's me incorrect with the facts. But no, definitely. So looking at this as well, if we look at his opponent, we've got obviously Drew McIntyre there. Drew recently has done kind of unusual stuff. He's been putting people over. He's already lost to Bobby Lashley and Braun kind of last month. He put Mason T-Bar over as well. So kind of looking at this, I think Drew, this is almost like a rebirth. He's almost like a third wheel in this. Then we look at the sort of rebirth really of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, for me, have done a fantastic job since the Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania of getting him back to being a serious wrestler. The work they did this past week on Raw, where he was able to sort of power slam people through like barriers and stuff, it looks so good. And I think Braun Strowman's really an interesting element in this. But for me, if I'm going for a winner, I think Bobby Lashley's retaining this. I don't see them taking the belt off Bobby Lashley so far. And I think Braun Strowman may be the one that gets pinned. Who do you see winning this, and sort of where do you think we go next?
I can see Bobby winning, but I think it's going to be Drew that gets pinned. I think that this is going to push Drew away from the title scene for a while. Like I said to you weeks ago, now that Jinder's coming back, I'd like to see Jinder and Drew have a feud. Just keep Drew out of the title scene for a while, just so that when they eventually go back to crowds, obviously from sort of SummerSlam onwards, start building him back up again towards that title scene. Just because I feel he's been a bit flat with his promos, and everyone, he's sort of becoming the modern day John Cena, and just everyone's kind of a bit bored of seeing him at the minute.
I think the problem is he's obviously sort of, because he's in so many segments, I think that's the reason why people are getting a bit tired of him.
Yeah, his matches are great. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, that I love the Claymore. I think it's one of the, it's kind of up there with the RKO for me. It's like one of the most devastating moves out there. But the fact that they're just doing this thing where they constantly put him on TV and just they force him down your throat. But I just think they need to find a new sort of angle for Drew, because ever since they've given him this bloody sword that Vince McMahon he does the whole these they basically drown you in Scottish with this guy. Like everything, like before when he used to come out in the black leather jacket, fine, but all of a sudden 1 week they just boom, they changed it, and it was comes out in a kilt and he's got a sword, and it was like, oh my god, you're just shoving it down the throat, and it just reminds me of Fruity Pebble John Cena.
Yeah, fair point with this. I'm going to go to the comments. Got a great one here for Dom. Thank you very much for your comment. What the hell was Mason Seabar's angle about? Sure, they can't just drop it there.
I think they could be involved this Sunday. Do you think so? I think this could be had Drew loses the match because of Mason Seabar.
I would be a fan of them doing something. Obviously, they've been dropped the past 2 weeks. It would make sense for them to do it. I want to see him back. The main one I care about is Dijakovic. He's the one that's the biggest travesty in all this. I think if he can come back, for me, if they're not going to come back, let's get them off TV for a while and then just bring them back with their real names, because obviously we're going to get kind of Mia Yim coming back tonight with a real name. I want to see the same for them two guys, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Have you got anything else you want to add before this match, before we kind of go into the main event?
Go for it, man.
Okay, the main event, we've got Cesaro, Roman Reigns. This is going to be an absolutely epic match. This is like a first-time match. Really, really looking forward to seeing this. I think they've done a fantastic job of building Cesaro up as like a number one contender. When we look at this, Roman Reigns obviously has had the belt for ages. He won the belt sort of back at Payback, and he's not losing matches at all. The only person to get anything kind of out of him is Adam Pearce. They got that one disqualification win. This is a Roman Reigns that hasn't lost a match since 2019. Like actually lost the match by pinfall 2019. What's your thoughts of the feud so far, and who do you think is going to win?
I think Roman's going to. I think the only way, if I was booking this, the only way that Roman's going to lose is whoever wins Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank this year is going to be a SmackDown person, and I think it's going to be a combination between Money in the Bank and the Usos screwing Roman over, or it's not screwing over, but just controversially getting him involved. But the build's been great. I mean, yeah, Daniel Bryan being Cesaro's hype man and putting him up there, and it just like they've been doing it since Mania. It's been 10 years. He's competed at Mania 10 years without having a singles match at Mania, and now they're pushing him up there. The Roman treating him just like he's nothing. Like when he called out for his next challenger, Cesaro comes out and Roman just walks off. The feud's been really entertaining. It's been one of the highlights of SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely. I think looking at this, they've done a great job, as I said, with Cesaro. This is a Cesaro that hasn't lost a match since May 2020, where he lost to Shorty G. He's been beating everybody. The only real blip on his record is Elimination Chamber, but I think I can ignore that. If you ignore that, this guy's been built like a contender, and I think they've done really good. I think the recent win over Seth Rollins back at Throwback last weekend as well on SmackDown was really, really good. This guy's obviously got wins over Jey Uso. He's got wins over Murphy. You know what I mean? This guy, I think, is good, really, really credible. For me, for once, I don't normally do this. I'd be a fan of a no contest just to get this to go to another month. But
yeah, that's a good shout.
I just don't see Roman isn't losing the belt here. For me, my prediction probably is going to be Roman Reigns to win. I'm just interested to see how they can get Cesaro out of this and then make us want to see it again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the only thing is, obviously, with it being a pay-per-view and getting a no contest, I think it'd probably be a screwy finish, like an involvement and stuff like that. But just because it's a pay-per-view, maybe the no contest is a bit of a far stretch, especially if it's going to be your main event. Like I said, probably more of a screwy finish. But yeah, I'd like to see this go further on and say push this on till SummerSlam. Say a two or three more matches out of this as well.
Definitely, I think it's an interesting one in terms of Roman and where he drops the belt. For me, as I said on the Raw review this past week, the only people that I could see him dropping the belt to anytime soon would be Big E if he wins Money in the Bank, as you said, Money in the Bank, or Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns is nailed on for SummerSlam. I could see that sort of happening already. But would you be a fan of that happening at SummerSlam? Would you rather see the Cesaro Roman match?
Well, to be fair, they're still trying to push this embrace the vision gimmick with Seth Rollins. So where this is going to go, I don't know, because you can't have two heels going for the title. It just doesn't make sense unless they're going to go with a whole triple threat and put two heels and a baby face in now. I don't know, and maybe put Cesaro in it or Big E, whoever. Just be interesting to see where it goes. But unless Seth's going to be baby facing, if they're doing this one-on-one, it's not going to make sense.
Going to go to the comments. Got one here for Dom. Thank you for your comment. I'm looking forward to a more traditional Money in the Bank match this year. Or who do you think they'll do it? Or do you think they'll do it in WHQ again?
I hope not.
I think it was traditional.
It was entertaining last year, but the ending of the men's one just killed it. Like when the whole fact that they had was it Baron throw Rey Mysterio and someone off the roof of a building,
and then they're okay the next week.
Day, yeah. And then the commentary played it down with like, oh yeah, there was just another roof a bit lower down. It's like, oh, get out of here, man. Just get rid of that.
I've got confidence they'll do a good one. I think this year they'll stick the course as well. I think whoever they put it on, they'll stick the course this year. I really trust them. There's a lot of people that could be in this match that can do some good stuff.
The only problem with Money in the Bank is they need to stop having people win it and then cash in on the same night or in within the space of a week. Like I've said to you previously, ideally it's a heel prop, and it should be someone. There should be a heel that has it, and they should terrorize the champ for the next year. Just every once in a while, like after a match, just have them come out and their music play and have that threat of knowing that they could lose their championship. But yeah, that's what they need to do in Money in the Bank. Just stop having people cash in on like an hour later. It's just so stupid.
I agree. Let's ride the course this year. Let's not give it to somebody that they're going to drop halfway through the angle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Just before we kind of end the video, then, have you got any final thoughts of WrestleMania Backlash? Anything else you're kind of excited about?
Just nice to see if maybe they put an Intercontinental match on there. Obviously after SmackDown tonight, possibly. Well, I think we'll get 2 more matches. I'd be pretty sure we'll get 2 more matches. Hopefully they put the tag match on there and actually someone wins the tag titles and gets them away from Nia and Shayna, just to vary it up, man. But
we got that tonight, haven't we? We got that on SmackDown tonight, haven't we? That long-awaited tag match between Natalya, Tamina, and Shayna and Nia. Match? Yes, title match tonight.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not going to be on Sunday then. But yeah, at least to get Apollo on there and get that in the Continental title as well. US champion Sheamus might get. No, it's too late now for Sheamus to get a match, isn't it? So yes. But the only thing they could probably add to say is an IC match.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. I think even if you don't get any more matches, the way that we got these 6 matches, they may be predictable on paper, but from an in-ring perspective, this is going to be a really strong card. I'm really excited for this card this Sunday, even if we know the predictions.
Oh, they've
got a great opportunity to put some great in-ring action there. I don't think it's going to be a very long show either, which I prefer, really. Yeah,
don't get me wrong, for these sort of B-level pay-per-views, this is the first time in ages I'm excited for one because just of who the matches are involving and the quality that they're going to be. Like, I expect the Roman Reigns Cesaro match is going to be amazing. The Bayley and Bianca one's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's a good card, man. It's going to be entertaining.
Definitely. Just before we end the video today, Steve, just tell everyone about your fantastic video you dropped yesterday.
On an NXT video for your 5 superstars I reckon that shouldn't go to main roster currently while Vince is booking. And then I've got a reverse for that next week coming out on Thursday. I've got 5 NXT superstars who I think should go to the main roster.
Looking forward to it. Steve, listen, I want to thank you so much for doing this show. That's it from here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining and watching us. I hope yourselves have a great weekend. Enjoy SmackDown if you're watching it tonight. As always, stay well, stay healthy, and thank you for all the support. We'll be back, no doubt, on Monday to review this card at some point. I'll be back tomorrow to do the SmackDown review. That'll be dropping at some point as well. But thank you as always. As always, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It really means the world. And thank you for your time and thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.